All right, so this is the first session that we have for the off season. So I've got Pop and I got Brian here who will talk about some of the things that new officials might experience and also what some of the veterans might see. So let's take it away with a couple of plays. So this is the new officials class. We're at Griswold High School, room 4116. And I look forward to seeing everybody. This is the session that we usually do when we introduce just that the class, it's going to start. And this is what it takes to be a member. Here are the forms, complete the forms. The first class starts, next week. So that's how we'll play this one. Let's see. So we got 3 plays. So I pull up play number 1. And I'll put it up on the screen. There we go. And you guys can see it, right? Okay, it's going to play a couple times. I'm just going to switch to sharing so that folks can see it on the recording. So I got to pick the share sound, optimize. All right, and share. All right, let's resume. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is a punt play. We'll just let it play through, and it's gonna stop and just kind of pick up. And boy, it's jerking around, even though I'm playing it locally. Yeah. All right, so we see some action here. Green is the return team, and we're going to see a block coming up right here. And we see the results. So I guess the first thing I'll ask is, how do we see what happens on this block on a pump play? What is which official is going to see it? I'll start it again. Hopefully this time it won't jerk around so much. There we go. All right, that looks like it's the pencil. Let's switch to the pointer. There we go.
And we're talking 5-man crew here.
Right? Yeah, it's a 5-man crew. So the thing is, we got 22 players, and they're going to cover a lot of ground, right? Yep. So what are some of the keys? I mean, we don't have to get too deep into mechanics, but what are we watching? Are we watching for the punter's kind of style, or are we looking for something from the returner? Are we watching? What are we watching for?
Yeah, so in this case, I mean, because you got 5-man mechanics, you only got 1 man really deep, right, behind everybody. You got 4 officials that are kind of looking down after the kick is done and the kick passes the line of scrimmage, it's off. You should have at least 2 officials looking back at the play coming towards them. Mm-hmm. So they should be looking out in front of all the space and where their runner's headed, and looking for any action, anybody that's typically running against the grain or looking like they want to do something stupid in this case. But they should be looking in front of the ball and not where the runner is.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't say it any better than that. I would say that if we pause it, maybe we can get maybe we can do the little drag action here and see. So we got a block up there at, what is that, the 30-yard line or so, and we got a block there for, well, yeah, there's one deeper. Right. There's one right there. Looks like it's just a couple guys side by side. I'm not sure there's anything that looks like they know each other's there. They're both fending each other off. Whatever your definition is of an illegal block, that's not it, right? Now we have another block that's right here, and we have 2 players that are running shoulder to shoulder, stride for stride, side by side. They're both going the same direction.
Yep, both going the same direction. The other key thing too is that the defender is on the opposite side of the
runner. Right. So the defender being opposite side of the runner means that the blocker has good position.
Got good position, and he really doesn't have to do much outside of what he kind of does here when the defender kind of turns in.
Exactly. So that play ends up kind of just being a warding off, taking a position away. Now you see some players here that are kind of just running, right? Maybe we don't need to hang on those guys. We don't probably need to watch this guy. This runner here, do we need to be watching him right now?
No.
No. And we do see an official back over here that has come in. He's beginning to work his way in, changing his positioning, right? That presumably would be the guy who started deep, right?
You're right.
So we have one official starting deep. Now he's closing in, right? And we have a short wing official that started on the line of scrimmage, who we know is moving down, right? To kind of square this up and try to box it in. So let's see where his eyes might be looking. Okay, so now we do see a guy going the other direction from the player he's lining up. Let's see if I can get it right on the key moment. Okay, right there. So this guy, we've watched this video a few times. It's always skipped past this point. But did that defender, the player in white, the kicking team player that's trying to stop the receiver, did he see that guy coming?
No, I don't think so.
No.
His helmet's facing the runner.
He didn't see it coming, right? So, and we also, I think we also see that this block did come from the back, right? So whether you have a block in the back or a blindside block, I think it's a foul either way at this point, right? So the question this becomes, is this enough for a blindside block? And it's so hard to determine with it skipping like this. But you can see that he does take him all the way to the ground at speed. Do you guys think this is enough, assuming that all the frames connect?
Yes.
That this is forcible, that this is blindside, and it's not with the open hands, it's not a shove, it's not a screen.
Oh, no.
This is a blindside block. So then the question is, we finally see the wing official who was on the line of scrimmage, who had made his way down. This is a tough get, I think. It's a tough get. When do we pick up this guy that could be dangerous? Here he is on the screen. Is the line judge that's coming down the field, is he aware?
No.
No,
He's looking towards the ball carrier.
yeah, there's two folks that are coming downfield, and these folks at the ball carrier coming.
Right.
That's what we staring at. We should have stopped probably 10, 15 yards before this and just observe the runner coming in this direction.
Yeah, so stopping and just observing would be a really good idea. I think I agree. I echo that. I also think the hat kind of gives away where his eyes are. Right? Yeah, and which these guys aren't going to be committing a foul. I'm not sure what this guy is signifying. But the guy that really we should be looking at probably is 20 and the guy lining up 20, right? So I guess my question is, how many other officials are on the field?
4.
Okay, so there's this guy plus this guy over here. Can the back judge that's also deep, can he help on this block?
I think there's too many people in his view from the back.
He could have shielded.
There's too many people in his view, but he's closer. But on a punt play, do we really care about how far away we are? If we see a block like this, no. So this flag can come from any of the other 4 officials, right? Not just the guy. And sometimes if you're the closest to it, you have the least good chance. So I think at this moment, you know, he's turning to look back. And this looks like a blur, right? Probably the skipping of the film is about what he's doing, right? He sees these guys go to the ground because, I mean, they're almost landing on him, right? But he's also got to pick up something else. Now, what do we have to worry about? Yeah, there's no other official on the sideline. He's the guy. Yeah, that's the toughest thing about 5-man officiating. You have to get this forward progress spot as well. That's the big reason why I'm not going to hang too much on this one official, because he's got a lot, right? It just shows that we have to help our partners out, right? Maybe the umpire who's in the middle of the field, he might pick that guy up coming from 20 yards away. And what do we do if we see a guy running against the grain across the field?
Radar's up.
Radar's up, and you watch him. See where he goes, right?
The only offender that was going the opposite direction.
Yes. The only guy really, we see a block right here, and this block, who knows? That's not as important as this block with this runner going out of bounds. If this is a hold, I'm not concerned about it. Are you? I mean, the runner's about to step out of bounds. That's not going to affect this play. This ends up being the more significant play, right? So we go to our referee, we report. I've got a blindside block. The spotted a foul. Does it matter? Yeah, it does, because this runner ends up going further, right? That spot is compared to the spot where the foul is, and that's what we'll talk about in this class. So we'll learn how to tell the referee what the foul is, and someday you will be the referee, and you'll need to know that flag location does matter, right? So we dropped that flag, what, the 33 yard line, and then we're going to go back against the receiving team. I have to say, I watched a college video where they enforced it against the kicking team. I don't think you're going to see the kicking team guilty of a blindside block. It's very unlikely, right? Because they're allowed to go after the returner. If the blocker gets in their way, you can hit them, you can knock them down, you can throw them out of the way. Yeah, so just be conscientious about what you're reporting to your referee. All right, let's get the next play queued up, and let's see where it's going to queue up. Oh, good. Right on the same frame. Okay, let's take a look at this play. Hopefully it will skip less. It's sadly jumping. I don't know why. It's on my local dips. All right, so I know we have a change in possession. So you see somebody was highlighted. It's highlighted. These are some of the tools that we have access to on Huddle, right? We're able to put those little highlights and things like that and see those. This is an interception return. So let me try to get this build up a little bit better by doing my little drag trick again. And one thing is that on video, a lot of times when there's a pass play, a lot of camera operators will try to swivel, right? They like to zoom in to see all this interior line action. I'll say, first of all, in this kind of situation, referee and umpire are going to be occupied with these 3 blocks, right? There's really only 3 blocks here. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just 3 blocks here, and therefore the referee and the umpire can handle it. The other 3 officials have to be helping on pass plays, right? In this position. So nobody should see this ball come out, except probably the referee if the quarterback is threatened. But on this play, that's why this interception is so surprising.
We go back, Mike, just to
Yeah. Sure.
Strictly won't see. Now you can't see the what we call the line of scrimmage official, who should be at the top of the screen.
Yeah, it's too zoomed in to see the officials, but yeah.
And then, but as you move forward, you start to see his feet at the 40, at the numbers, right?
Oh, okay. Even though we snapped from the 38.
You know, it's not, I mean, but he's into the numbers. He's on the field.
Oh, wow.
Question is, why is he
on the field?
Again, new mechanics standpoint.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Right? So interesting enough, we did snap the 38. He's standing at the 40.
Yeah.
Not sure why. He should be on the 38, and he should be off the field just holding steady.
Well, behind the chains, he's on the 40, so something's messed up.
Well, I think the box is on 38, I think.
Hopefully.
Oh.
Hopefully. So we're talking about a 12 yards to the line of the game.
Yeah. So the key thing here, just again from a new official thing, one of the key things you'll learn over time is just stand still.
Yeah.
Right. There's no need to be overly aggressive.
Yeah. So now at this moment, let's see if I can find him.
He's on the field going. He's about the 45.
Yeah. Now he's here. He's here at the 46 yard line, and he's heading down the field towards the action. Okay, and I think he hesitates now because we see players running the other direction, right? A lot of times officials don't all know that there was an interception, right? Yeah, we just see the body language of all the players. Suddenly the white team in white are all kind of running a punt return, and the team in dark colors are now the defense, right? So here's my question. Who is likely to commit a blindside block, the dark team or the white team?
Be on the ball.
Because they have the ball, right? The team with the ball was going to try to block, and a lot of times defense doesn't know how to block,
I
right?
was just saying, and because they're the defensive squad, and but I was gonna say the same thing, like they don't block for a living.
No.
So
So this is the guy that we're going to highlight, and I'm going to just point out we've got an official in the middle of the field. He's the umpire, right? He has a really good chance, I think, to pick this guy up going the wrong way because this official has sold out completely on downfield, right? I don't know if he's going to see that. He may be guilty of the same thing we were talking about before. The video's not clear enough. He might be watching the returners, and I would argue that there's nobody in any danger of fouling over here. Everybody's got a decent halo of yardage around them.
and I would think he's probably nervous now because he's caught on field and the play is coming.
It is coming in this direction. Yeah, I can imagine he would be very nervous. All right, so again, now we pick up this player with the brick in their hand. That means someone's got to have an eye on this guy. We could argue that the umpire here might have players in the way, right? I might even be aware of this as a referee because a referee in this case becomes a back judge, right? This is a return. So that back judges, we look for big blocks in the middle of the field, right? We look for going back against the grain. We look for open field stuff, shenanigans. And this guy probably was one of those big bodies that was in the middle of the line that we were watching in the first place, right? So, stay on those guys that are going the wrong way, right? And then we get a little help from our Zoom editor here who tells us, oh, this is a blindside block, guys. And I can't believe this is skipping like this when it was working so beautifully today. I was in my classroom picking these plays. All right, so we see it again. It might be paused because of the there we go. Actually, I played pretty smooth. The editor is pausing the play. All right. So you see, you pick him up in chase mode at the 40. He ends up making the block at the 44. Where is the umpire looking now?
Looking about 35.
He's looking at these guys that are ahead of the play. Again, refereeing is a difficult job. It's difficult to pick up the open field, but we see on change of possession, punt returns, kick interceptions, we see big open field fouls. All right, let me try the other play. Hopefully this one will play smoothly. This is actually one of my games. He's playing great. So our umpire does throw one.
Good job, Wyndham!
And so what's nice about this play is we get a chance to see officials reporting to the referee, right? So we see the officials. The guy on the first part of this huddle here is a wing official. We see the umpire and we see a back judge who all came in together, and they gave some information, right? So this is us picking up a flag. Now, why did the umpire just walk down the field? That was not the play. So who's responsible for the result of the play? There was a foul. There was a flag. Who's responsible for the end of the play? Yeah, let's take a look at the play again. Okay, it looks like we're at the 33, right? But we got a flag back here. There's a foul, red flag. That spot's not going to matter, right? Not going to matter. Now, who just came up here? That's the back judge. Oh, here comes the wing official. So the other wing's going to hold that spot, right? Does he? He has not. So this is what drives all referees crazy. It makes film reviewers crazy because when we cancel this foul, someone needs to hold a spot. right? Everybody on the crew has a job, and I'm not going to criticize the crew. This could happen to anybody, but again, you've got 5 officials on the field. You don't all have to be in the conversation, right? You don't all have to be involved. All right, now what do we have? What's going on now?
Questioning the ball.
The coach of the defense is wondering what happened. Why did my flag get picked up? That was clearly a blindside block. So let's go back and take a look and see what he's talking about. This is too far. I get back to the beginning. All right, let's take a look and see. Do we see a blindside block? First, is it a blindside block? I'm not saying whether it's legal or not. It's a blindside block? Is it illegal? Nobody's saying he didn't hit him to the blind side. He didn't see it coming. Did he use his hands? Was it forcible? So the umpire, it was forcible, right?
Short wing was staring right at it.
Let's see. Yeah, so the short wing had information. Yes. So the short wing, and I'll tell you, I was in this conversation. Short wing was told that was not forcible. And you see, he did stay on that block. He observed that there was a flag down, right? But he continued to work until the end of it, right? Especially if you're going to take the into the play. Now the back judge also came in. Yeah, he might have.
Great, and then I go to the foul from left inside.
Yeah, he might have. That's very possible. Yeah, that would be a good decision if you have to go in. I would just argue that beanbags can be displaced, right? So just if you're not involved in this call, I would say the official on the far sideline, he doesn't have a whole list. He doesn't have a flag down. He doesn't have the primer in the spot. You can really help your fellow officials by holding it, right? Even though it's across the field, you're just going to stand it. Just like we have an official who needs to cover the flag, right? We also need to cover the spot. Now, one thing that I will say this official does well, when the coach needs to talk to the referee, you never leave the referee alone, right? You need to be present when the referee is speaking to the coach so that you can be a witness. You don't need to stand. This official here is going to stand close by and just listen, just be part of the conversation as a witness. And the coach is going to have his say. The referee is not going to give any kind of body language, and he's going to receive the information. He's going to explain as best he can and how he will. The official is also being the calming voice. Who's the only guy in the field doesn't have right? It is what it is. Now this coach is telling me that it's a rule to pick up a foul blindside block is permanent once the flag comes around. That's in the rule. Now, that's no such thing. That doesn't exist. Don't laugh at the coach. They say a lot of things. Right? I would just argue my stance. Yeah, I did. But do we have the correct spot? We do. So yeah, I would suggest to be there are a lot of guys on the I'm just not
Yeah, for new officials to know, especially a play like this, that might be somewhat controversial from a coach perspective. Expect you to hear a lot of it for the next couple plays. You'll be there on that sideline.
Yeah.
And you'll be listening to that coach. Well, the rule book, the rule reference about team over and over.
Definitely.
If you don't know, just say, Coach, I will get back.
And especially the wing official that started on that sideline. There's a guy who was at the conference that's going to do. If the referee in the conference needs to keep his answer, you don't need to make up a new one. You know. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Well, anything else on this play?
You just been way too low there. Way too low.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now we're going to bring the teams out. They both had plenty of time to think about it, and we're going to run another play because we got to let that go and begin another play and move on to the rest of the game.
Hopefully we remember the clock stuff.
There's so much to do as a football official. We have a lot of things to do before the play, but dead ball, those times when nobody's running the football, are also important, right? Everything that happens on the football field from 6:30 p.m. until 9 o'clock, whenever that final whistle blows, we have work to do. So don't forget that. You're a fan, but you become an official. It's a job. All right, so I think that's all. That's all I have for today. I will. What I'll do is I'll post this video to the folks that were interested. Thank you guys. Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Pops, for being here. I really appreciate it. I'll stop sharing. Touchscreen works. Yep, it does. And yep. So everybody have a great evening. Yeah, it is a touchscreen laptop, which is helpful because I can't get my mouse over.